Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And today, you knew I had to talk about this. You knew that this was going to make the Allfather mad because they are now playing around with my stuff. So here, Marvel changes the inscription on Thor's Mjolnir. So for those that do not know, Marvel has gone through a very weird transition where there was a time in history where there was a female Thor. Yes, a female Thor. Thor, because, oh, the power of Thor is not subject to gender, even though Thor is a person. The power of Thor has always been attached to a person. And obviously, they've tried to play around with that in the most recent film, Endgame, trying to show, look, Captain America, he is also worthy of the power of Thor, which is why he was able to wield Mjolnir. However, the problem is that they're playing identity politics with freaking history, too. Now, again, the comics has always kind of tried to, play that thing as like, is this history? Is it a comic? Really, it's always been trying to say, all right, it's based in the lore, it's based in the history, but it does not have to be completely lost in the actual history of it itself. But this, to me, is just so freaking petty on their part to try and change the language to be all-inclusive so that basically they can open up to where in the future, oh, well, now Thor's no longer Thor. Now Thor can be any person of any gender or any background. It doesn't matter. What's the next thing going to be? We're going to have a trans Thor? Is that going to be the next thing that we have? Now it's like, oh, they. Are we really going to be that caught up in pronouns? Or eventually we're going to have it be where whoever is going to be, because that's what happened. And this is something that I did not know about, that during the comic, when Jane Foster, yes, Jane Foster, becomes Thor in the comics, that during it actually changes. And you see the S there, boom, if she be worthy, shall profess the power of Thor. And it changes in that way, when the original, of course, is that whoever he shall be worthy shall possess the power of Thor, because there's only one Thor. Thor is an actual person. Thor is an actual dude, and he's being cast away, and it needs to, again, earn his power. He needs to earn his power back, but of course, the inscription needs to change because it needs to fit the identity politics nonsense. But now, of course, it says, whoever holds this hammer, if they be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor, leaving it open to any person at all, who wants to hold the hammer. Doesn't matter if you're actually Thor or not, you can hold the hammer now. This is stupid. This is ridiculous. Almost as bad as when Jane Foster herself became Thor. Now, of course, it is just opened up. This is the original. Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor, because Thor is an actual person. Thor is not just a power. Thor is a person. Oh my goodness gracious. So you knew that this was going to frustrate me, and it has, and it's ridiculous, and really not much else needs to be said about this. So what do y'all thought? Do you think that this is stupid? Honestly, I'm so sick and tired of the wokeness of the comics, which has just driven the comics industry down. I'm not saying that this one change is going to drive Thor comics down, but let's talk about Marvel Comics for a second. If you actually know anything about Marvel Comics, which my guy over at Nerdrata, Gary, does because he owned a comic shop, he knows that Marvel Comics have been on the decline for a very long time now, and it's crap like this, it's identity politics nonsense like this that's being thrown into comics that is destroying the comics book industry, or at least one of the many factors that's destroying it. That's exactly what's going to happen with movies. If you're going to continue to go forward in the movies and the directions that they seem to be indicating they want to go, then that's exactly what's going to happen to the movies. Oh, well, you say that, but yet Captain Marvel made over $1 billion, and oh, look at Endgame. Endgame's gonna almost probably gonna end up breaking Avatar's record and almost get close to $3 billion, and oh, boom, 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 boom. Okay, yes, that's right, because guess what? They've been building it up now for about 10, 11 years, and now they've gotten to the point now where the next phase needs to start. So obviously, Far From Home is said to have been the end of Phase 3, and that officially Phase 4 will start with the next film following that. And with all that being the case, and with all that being said, what that means is that we're very likely going to get a new direction and a new start, and that to me is where the concern lies, because if it is going to be in the direction as the comics have seemed to go, well then guess what? Audiences are going to very quickly say, yeah, I don't care how much I loved Infinity War and how much I put up with Endgame, I'm not going to put up with this crap for any longer, and you're eventually going to see the entire film industry itself collapse, because the industry itself is already collapsing in on itself because of overpriced tickets, because of overpriced concessions, because most movies nowadays are either prequels, sequels, or reboots, and there aren't any original concepts or ideas left, and all the ones that they are doing are pushing identity politics, or at least the big ones are starting to push identity politics more so than actually good storytelling, and audiences are tired of it. We want good stories. We want good, cohesive stories that all make sense. We don't want you just to change the name and to change the inscription on something just because you want it to fit your social narrative, just because you want to leave open the possibility of there being another Jane Foster type Thor in the future. It's stupid, it's ridiculous, and leave my son alone, says the Allfather. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below. If you like this video, smash the like button, give me a subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.